Chasing success isn't the key to wealth. In fact, if you're chasing success, it's probably the reason you're broke. Because the goal is to grow your wealth, not your status. Yet so many of us get stuck in a cycle of chasing approval, buying cars, watches, houses, trying to prove something to themselves and others. And here's the problem. No matter what you own, it's never enough. Let's be real. We've all been there. You buying something. Maybe it's a car, a watch, the latest tech, and for a moment it feels freaking amazing. You're riding high. But for how long? A year? A few months? A few weeks? A few days? Maybe. And then what happens? You notice that someone else's car is nicer, their house is bigger, they have an even more expensive watch, and suddenly what you have doesn't seem like enough. Psychologists have a name for this. It's called the status trap. It's a cycle of constantly comparing yourself to others, trying to keep up with appearances. It's a game where no matter what you own, there's always someone with more. And it drags you down into a state of relative deprivation. That's a term scientists use when you feel like you don't measure up, even when you have everything you need. Anyone else? Just me? Okay. And trust me, this trap is everywhere, from your neighborhood to your Instagram feed. And I would know. I used to do this myself when I was younger. Growing up in the neighborhood I did, your clothes, your rims, and the size of the sub in your trunk meant everything to status. I saw broke people staying broke because they spent more on rims than their entire family's net worth. And I'm talking aunties and uncles included. And it's not just the poor who do this. In fact, back when I used to be a CFO, the number of high income earners, and I'm talking 7-figure plus annual income earners, who would pull me aside and share how they were struggling is saddening. It's not saddening because they asked me to help coach them, but because society is built in a way that breeds us living beyond our means unless we go against societal standards and risk getting labeled a weirdo. Here's the thing, the moment you stop chasing status, everything changes. It's not just about saving money. It's about freeing yourself from a cycle that science shows is keeping you trapped. Psychologists call it hedonic adaptation, or maybe you've heard of the Honic Treadmill. It's excitement you feel after buying something new that doesn't last. No matter how much you spend on a car, a watch, or a bigger house, your happiness returns to the same level it was pre-purchase. You adapt, and suddenly what felt like a big upgrade becomes your new normal. And then you need something bigger and better and more awesome to feel that excitement again. But here's where it gets worse, and you watch me for the positive. Here's how it really does get worse. Once you start it, it doesn't stop. You buy one expensive thing and suddenly you feel like everything you own has to match it. You buy a new car and now your wardrobe feels outdated. So you buy new clothes and then you need a new watch because your old one is too cheap for the new you, and your house doesn't seem fancy enough. So you upgrade that too. This is called the Diderot effect. One purchase leads to more, and before you know it, you're stuck in a cycle of spending, not to improve life, but to keep up the appearances. It's a never-ending cycle of consumption. But there's a way to avoid this trap completely, and it starts with a simple shift in how you think about your money. I'll show you exactly how I did it and how you can do the same. Now smash that like, subscribe, turn notifications on so you never miss the good juju I'm serving up every week. I'm chopping it up, I'm cooking up something for you every week, baby. So turn it on, because when you step off this path, something incredible happens. You stop spending money on things that don't bring lasting happiness, and you start focusing on what truly matters, building real wealth. Science backs this up. Research shows that people who spend their money on experiences, education, and investments report a higher level of long-term satisfaction than those who spend it on material goods. One study by researchers at Cornell University, led by Dr. Thomas G., I'm not going to try to say your name wrong, found that experiences provide more lasting happiness than material goods. Look, I'm living what I teach. All these photos up here are mile markers and remembrances of moments and times and people who are mentors and friends of mine that have made my life rich. Their vacations, their business trips, business part, all of it. They're memories that have made my life a lot more full and a lot more rich. A lot more so than my bling bling drippy watch that ain't here. Now I know you're probably wondering, why? Because material items quickly become part of our new normal. We adapt to them. But experiences, whether it's travel, education, even starting a new project, become a part of who we are. They give us memories, personal growth, and a deeper sense of fulfillment. Another study published by the Journal of Positive Psychology found that people who spend their money on life experiences report greater happiness. Not only because experiences are more meaningful, but also because they're shared. The connections and memories made during those experiences last, while material purchases like a car or a watch, they lose their appeal quickly. When you're not constantly upgrading, you're free to take control of your finances. You're not driven by the need to match someone else's lifestyle. You can focus on building something lasting, something that will grow over time. That's the real secret to wealth. Getting out of the status trap and making your money work for you, not against you. Prioritize investing over spending. So how do we do this? There was a 3-year period where I didn't take a single vacation. I was making barely $30,000 a year and I felt like I hadn't earned the right to relax. Instead, I put all my energy into growing myself. There were nights when I saw my friends living it up, having fun while I was alone in my room with just a laptop, reading about investments. I know, super exciting. I'll never forget the one Super Bowl Sunday I wanted more than anything to unwind and hang out at a coworker's place after work. But I told myself, until I'm making the kind of money that allows me to enjoy my downtime guilt-free, I'm gonna focus on being a person who can. Look, it sucked in that moment, let me tell you. There's no doubt about it. And you might say that's extreme, and you're probably right. Guess what? I grew. That night, nothing life-changing happened. I went home, I got online, I read articles about money, finance, crypto, and yet, here I am over a decade later, having just returned from a 4-month cruise around the world, port to port. And yet, it all comes down to one thing: priorities. What do you want out of life? Who do you want to be? How do you want to make an impact? Now, here's what I want you to do. Take a look at your spending from last month. How much of it went toward investing in your future versus spending on things that won't matter in a year? Here's the difference. The wealthy make their money work for them, while others spend it on fleeting pleasures. Yeah, we've all heard that before, but here's my advice. Invest in yourself before anything else. Before you dive into the stock market, real estate, or your retirement accounts. Make you the priority. In fact, why not do both? Use free resources. Listen to a podcast once a week by someone who's where you want to be. Subscribe to this if you want to be where I am. Take a course. And speaking of courses, hello! I've got a Money in Crypto Masterclass that's 100% free for a limited time. Remember, your life will never outgrow you. So start growing yourself today. Remember, learning doesn't have to cost a lot. There's plenty of free resources out there, like my masterclass on crypto and finance. Take advantage of it while you can. And I will see you in the course and the next video. You, my friend, you keep living your life to the fullest. Till next time, peace.